Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to talk about a very interesting topic, and I want to get right into it. This concept of working for free. So there's a clip of Stephan. If you don't know who Stephan is, look him up. He does a lot of finance content on YouTube. He has a lot of great stuff. He also runs a podcast called the Iced Coffee Hour. But in this clip of a podcast called The Business of Influence with Ryan Serhant, he talks about this concept of working for free. And the reason why I wanted to show it to you guys and review it here on the channel is because I was just having a conversation with a young agent just a couple of days ago who was struggling, brand new, thought this was going to be easier, not a lot of business. And so this very topic came up, and this concept of working for free. And far too often we're told by some to work for free. We're told by others not to work for free. Often in other circles, we understand this in the form of internships and things like that. But I think Graham gives a great breakdown of what it means to work for free and how you can position yourself to be able to work for free, which I think is another angle to this argument that often isn't talked about. So let's get into this and we'll kind of start breaking it down.
Money from the very beginning.
So I kind of want to pivot to something else. So a lot of times throughout my entire life, I've been told to get somewhere, you got to work for free. You got to give people free time. And a lot of people are super against that. Mm-hmm. They're super against free internships and everything. What do you think about working for free to get somewhere?
You have to. I mean, there's benefits and negatives, I think.
So there you go. Benefits and negatives. And there's obviously a longer winded answer. That's not all of it. But before we get into kind of the meat of it, what do you guys think? Put in the comments. Do you think it's a good idea to work for free? Do you think people should? Do you think it should be considered? Do you think it's not a good idea? Do you believe that it devalues you or that it makes you less, what's the correct word? Less valuable? Because often people say, oh, you got to know your worth and you got to know your worth and you got to get your worth. What do you guys think? Do you guys think working for free, good, bad?
From my experience, I've always worked for free and I had no problem. Like I would gladly work for free. Yeah.
So here's the thing. He says he would gladly work for free. Now, I've been in situations where maybe you feel like you have to do something, but you don't really want to. So you're not gladly doing it. You're maybe doing it because somebody told you or whatever the case may be. So the question is, how can we reframe this so that we get into a position where we can gladly work for free instead of just doing it begrudgingly because somebody told us to?
Doing something you're passionate about.
Yeah, I mean, even when I started working as an agent, I would take any work I could. I would be delighted if another agent says, hey, could you do all my showings for me in a day for free? Just show up. I would love that. Are you kidding me? Like, I would learn so much. I get experience. So, like, I'm benefiting from that.
Totally.
So there you go. I think that is the first thing, the benefits, getting the experience. And I had a very similar experience myself when I started in real estate because I didn't have the contacts. I didn't have the clients. I didn't know how to generate leads. I had never run a business before. So I didn't know any of that. So I didn't work for free completely, but I worked for very little money. I mean, we're talking about $400 for a deal when my broker was making $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000. So I was definitely getting the short end of the stick on that one, but it's all about the experience. So Graham says that the reason why he can work gladly for free is because he's getting experience, the knowledge, he's getting to meet people, he's being around doing the thing. And so I think this just points to this concept of there being different tokens of exchange outside of money. And we always think of money automatically, but I have found this to be true, that there are different tokens of exchange. And often that can be knowledge, networking, people that you're going to meet, experience, all of that is also incredibly valuable. And so when you're new, you may lack that experience that can generate larger paychecks. You don't yet have the skills. And so the question becomes, how do you get those skills? And the answer is by doing some of these things. You might have to work for free or for very little money in order to get the experience. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to do it forever, but I think it definitely means that you can use it as a trampoline, if you will, as a stepping stone to propel you to where you eventually want to get.
Same with the aquarium place. Like I was initially, I didn't even think I would. I was just happy to be there, and just be around everything. Like I would do that for free too. Same with YouTube. Like the first year, actually the first few months, I never monetized. Like I just wanted to do it for free. I turned on monetization. I realized that helps get more views.
So I love that, right? And I think that that points to being able to kind of see the bigger picture, look ahead and say, okay, I got to learn this. I mean, we got to be more self-aware, guys. A lot of us are trying to be paid like superstars, or we want to get paid the same amount or more than the veterans in the game, the people that have been doing this for 10, 20, 30 years, and they have the systems and the skill sets and the experience. We want to get paid the same way without building the foundational principles that these other people have. And I think that that's where people get it messed up.
First year, I think in real estate, I had made, 500 grand in gross commissions that year. And on YouTube, I made 26,000. But I was spending just as much time on YouTube as it was real estate. And everyone in the beginning told me, like, spend more time in real estate. Like, you should be able to take that 500 grand to like 800 this year. If you just spent that time in real estate, there's no reason. Why would you do this? But I would do it for free.
Right.
I think the downside is that I had not the downside, but I guess the advantage that I had was that I had the resources to not need the money. Mm-hmm. You know, in the very beginning, I was still living with my dad when I was doing real estate, going to open houses, like I could just live at home and just pay my cost of, food and groceries and gas and stuff like that. I don't my overhead was so little.
So there's the key. And this can apply for new people, new entrepreneurs, or seasoned entrepreneurs, not even entrepreneurs, people that want to grow something, whatever it is. But in order to be able to work for free, you have to set it up in a certain way to where you don't need a lot of money. So for young people, what can that mean? For me, that meant just living at home. I mean, I didn't really have any expenses at all. And so whatever money I made was great because I didn't need it. He says the same thing. He was living with his dad. He just had to pay for basic stuff, gas and things like that. So he didn't need tons of money. So that's what allows you to be able to work for free, but you got to live humbly. And I think one of the mistakes that people often make in this industry is that we want to be flashy. We want to fake it till we make it. We want to get the new car. And now you have a $700 a month bill. And we want to do all of these things when that's actually setting you back. Because now you can't do some of the things that would give you the experience that can be that springboard to be able to get on to bigger and better things if we talk about experience. So for those that are starting, and I always talk about to young agents about this, live humbly with as little as possible. And I know it's going to suck for a little bit, but you got to move back home. You move in, you have to have a crappy car, but that's going to allow you to not have so much financial pressure as you build. And for those that are a little bit further along, they say, well, I already have a family or whatever, and you want to start the next thing. There's always this conversation about at what point should I quit my job? I talk to agents about this all the time. They say, hey, I want to go full time. At what point can I go full time? Well, the answer is, in my opinion, you shouldn't quit your job until you have something to fall back on with the new thing. If we talk about real estate, until you have some savings. You got to get a couple of deals under your belt. You might have to work for free, but because you keep your full-time job that's paying for your lifestyle, you can afford to do that. And once you have 1, 2, 3 deals, if you can be smart with your money, you put that in savings, emergency fund, whatever you want to call it. Now you're in a safer place to quit the job because you have 3, 6, 9 months in reserve that you can fall back on in case this thing doesn't work. And so again, I think it just goes back to being smart, being self-aware, and understanding that you're going to have to set this up in some way, but without a doubt, working for free or for very little money is going to just catapult the speed at which you can get the experience that you're going to need in order to then be able to progress. But it's not the other way around. So I love this clip from Graham because I agree 1000%. So follow him, like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys in the next video.